everyone, Deb Blower here, an independent Epicure consultant. And today we're going to be making an old traditional Newfoundland dish called Au Gratin. However, we're going to do it with a twist. Instead of using codfish, which I don't happen to have right now, we are going to use some fresh caught pickerel fillets, or as some people will call it, walleye, and some haddock fillets. And we're going to epicurize it. So I'm going to make a batch that will make 16 to 18 servings. So we have 8 pounds of white fish. Now you can use any white fish of your choice, it doesn't matter. We're going to cook it over medium heat in 4 cups of water for about 15 minutes or until the water turns white. And we're just going to add a little bit of salt and pepper, just to taste. I love these grinders. We'll just give that just a little bit of a stir. Going to use a splash guard, one of Epicure's products. They don't make them any longer, but I wish they did. And that will ensure that it won't boil over. While that's cooking, we're going to make up our sauce. So we're going to be using our creamy chowder seasoning and our mac and cheese seasoning. And because I'm making such a big batch, we're going to be using 2 of each. And the mac and cheese, well, that's one of our absolute best sellers. It makes fantastic cheddar cheese. Or mac and cheese, sorry. Now to that mix, we're going to add 4 cups of milk. I think the heavier the milk that you use, the creamier the sauce becomes. We're going to take our whisk and whisk it up. To this mix, we're going to add 1 cup of onions already chopped. That's the beauty of these prep bowls. They hold up to 1 cup each. They come 4 in a package, and you can have it already prepared and sitting in the fridge waiting for you. I lost my spatula. Oh. And 1 cup of shredded cheese. I like to use the jalapeno cheddar. It gives a little bit of zip to it. And minced garlic. Now, the minced garlic, 1 teaspoon will replace 1 clove of garlic. And it comes with a regular lid on it, like this. I like to put on the grinder lid because sometimes I like to have the garlic whole and sometimes I like it to be ground up a little bit finer. Today we're going to be using the full kernels and we're going to use 4 tablespoons. Now I really like our 4-in-1 spice spoons because they fit into every single Epicure jar and they have the 4 measurements on them. You've got your tablespoon, your teaspoon, flip it over and you've got a 1/2 teaspoon and a 1/4 teaspoon. This also helps you avoid any kind of spilling all over your counter by traditionally having to do this all the time into one of those round measuring spoons. There we go. Give that a good stir. We're ready to cook it. Transfer it over to our pot. Oh, I love the smell of garlic. What I'm using on our bowl is our corner spatula. They are silicone, so they're heat resistant up to 425 degrees. So they're pliable, flexible, yet they are reinforced with a metal rod, which makes them very durable. So now over medium heat, we're going to stir this until it gets to our desired thickness. Meanwhile, we'll just check on the fish. Well, it's coming along very nicely. I'll just give that another little stir. I think I'll use our whisk on this. There's our fish, all nicely cooked. So now with the reserved liquid fish water that we used, we're going to take Epicure's chicken broth and add 4 tablespoons of chicken broth to the water. Go through a lot of chicken broth. It's one of the staples in our house. And we'll just give that a good stir. And we'll add it to our fish. And our cheese sauce. Oh, that smells so good. You don't need to worry about chopping up the fillets when you start mixing it up because they're now cooked. They'll just kind of chop themselves up into pieces. So now we just give that a really good stir, which, like I said, we'll cut up the fish into smaller pieces. It looks like fish soup at the moment, but when it's done, it'll be a nice creamy fish casserole type look. Now we're ready to put it all together. So now we're going to take some lightly greased pans and ladle it into the pans. When the pot gets a little bit lighter, I'll lift it up and pour it. Now, in place of breadcrumbs for the topping, which will help absorb some of the liquid, we're going to use Epicure Southern Baked. It's got a little bit of spice to it. It's 100% gluten-free, and it's very tasty. So we'll just sprinkle some of that along the top. Give it a nice coating. I can smell the spices in it. I will have the recipe and all the information down in the description. There we go. And then we're going to take another cup of cheese. Again, it's the jalapeno cheddar. And just lightly put it on the top. I'm going to split it up approximately half per pan. And that'll give it a nice crust on the top. And just for a little bit of added flavor, I'm going to use Epicure's Better Than Bacon. That'll give it a little bit of bacon flavor and a little bit of crunch. And it looks like I'm just about out. Time to restock. And there you have it. 30 minutes in the oven, covered with foil. After 30 minutes, remove the foil and cook it for another 5 or 10 minutes, and that will ensure that the cheese is all melted and nicely browned. We'll be back with the finished product shortly. And there you have it, Au Gratin, Epicurized. Until next time, remember, home cooking is the main ingredient to a healthier diet.